All right. Hello. Dusk PRs. No, not Dusk PRs. Dawn PRs. That's the intro. I want you guys to know I messed up the intro. I'm keeping it. I said 3 seconds in Dusk PRs. And then I said no. I said no. Dawn PRs. This is all still in the video. But I had to let you guys know before the video because I didn't know if you guys were gonna watch it. So, well,
here we are. Listen, it's always going to be a bit scuffed here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're not
because I didn't
professional,
like it. Hey! I could be professional if I wanted to.
but we're not.
Exactly, because
Being professional is boring.
Yeah.
Real.
Also, because my professional videos flop on this channel. Anyways, I'm here with Gambit and Window.
Rat is fallen.
Hi. Killed him.
The godless beast is enjoying its wretched meal.
Enjoying the wretched meal of beans on toast.
Yes.
If you know the godless beast image, if you know, you know. I'm not editing this video, so I'm not pulling it up. I would be insane to try to edit PRs. Like, actually insane. I can barely edit a 10-minute video. Why would I try to edit a 2-hour video? Alright, so we are here with the Dawn Division, which, unlike last time, when Gambit and Window were the outliers, I'm the outlier this time. It's them two. They're the Dawn coaches.
That's true.
Yeah, we're starting with one of them.
No.
So we're getting it
don't
right
have-
away.
We literally don't have to.
Getting right away into the SoCal Valiant.
Guard.
We have Ursaluna Bloodmoon, Rebombi, Magmar, Comfy, Ambipom, Magnezone, Mismagius, Dondozo, Ronzong, Primate, Luxio. And I have to fix the dock later because the I in Rebombi is capitalized.
It is? It's not on my screen.
It was on mine.
I just fixed it.
So
like because I just copy pasted from the actual doc. That means it's like that on the actual, like our actual Dawn doc.
Wait. I'm checking this. I'm checking this right now.
To quote Drake, embarrassing.
Holy shit, it is.
Yep.
Rebomb.
That's so
Rebombi. It's like Magnum PI, but it's Rebombi RI. Folks, we have fun here. All right, so Winda, since I like every team, gave my thoughts in this one. Let me know, like I helped with this one. You give your thoughts first, and then me and Gambit can jump in.
So, I'm a little confused, strangely enough. Like, it's got very clear TR, but I feel like it doesn't do much outside of that. Like, it's got Rebombi. You know, it can go fast. What's it going fast with? A Primate? A Mismagius? A fast Magnezone or Bear? I'm a little confused about the fast mode. The Trick Room's great. Magmar's a great redirector. Hate the thing after last season. It burned me like 3 times. Thanks for that. But I am a little confused about like what the fast mode wants to do, because it really doesn't feel like it does a lot.
Alright, time for my masterful opinion. You right. You got me. You got me. You right.
Yeah.
If you're right, you're right. Yeah.
Okay,
no,
I'm not crazy.
yeah. This was meant to be also a lot more TR focused, but you know the snipes happened and all of that. The Kilowattrel that was originally supposed to be on this team would have actually given some oomph to the team, because right now, obviously, you know, other than Primate, you just kind of get Snarl spammed and lose. Besides Dondozo, I guess. Don Gotso. Yeah, Dondozo, A tier. I think because of Dondozo being moved down, this team actually becomes so crazy. And Comfy is like just one of the craziest mons possible on this team. Like, Comfy next to Blood Moon, Dondozo, and Bronzong is so absurd. It's so obnoxious.
Like, yeah, Comfy really helps a lot of the mons here, which is like really good.
Yeah, I think if you can find a team where Comfy, like a Comfy team, where it looks incredible, that's how you know, yeah, my team's fat as hell. Like, my main mode of my team is fat as hell if Comfy is just sitting there and making my team annoying. Kind of like Rats last season, if it was good. I'm throwing shit at him just 'cause he's not here.
I almost spit up my drink. Yeah. Well, yeah. Fake out. Good. Redirection. Good. Snarls. Good. No wide guard. Yeah, it's fine. There's no size spam in our league. In our division anyway. There's Reggie Drago. No, wait, that's the other division.
There's Goldango.
There's like nothing. There's a Goldango.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of Goldango. I'm not.
No, I think this team has a real issue with Goldango. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
Blursa,
you know what? You're right.
Yeah. Blursa gets 27 0'd by Goldango. Dondozo gets 47 0'd.
Magnazone, I'm so fucked at Goldango.
True. I mean, you can't keep it in, right?
Sure. Is it immune to Magnapool?
I think so. Is it good as gold?
That would be wild.
Is good of gold. Good as gold is like literally the most custom ability ever. It's like a ROM hack ability. Legitimately, like, if you think about it.
Is it? Can you swap out it's a trap?
It's only immune to status moves.
Yeah, I'm like, does that function? Like, if I Sand Tomb it or Fire Spin it, can it switch out?
I actually have no idea, and I'm not gonna check. But like, Smogon singles players on Twitter have led me to believe that it's unaffected by Magnet Pull. But I think I just got gaslit by singles players.
I need to know now.
We'll get it figured out. I mean, you're Magnazone and Goldango kind of wall each other anyways, so it doesn't really matter. We kind of just sit there, look at each other, and say, "Hey, what's your name?" Also, Analytic is just better than Magnet Pull anyways.
I mean, yeah. So you can come in close.
I guess unless you're...
Oh, it's a ghost type. Duh.
Oh, ghost types only are unaffected by shadow tag.
No.
Or they're just immune to trapping in general.
I'm pretty sure they're just immune to trapping.
I thought it was just they were immune to shadow tag.
Folks, if you know the answer, leave it in the comments. This is a great way to drive engagement. Because none of us are going to look it up right now. We've got better things to do.
Because I know Ghost Terra failing can swap out after no.
Oh, that is interesting.
Maybe it is.
Maybe
types can't be trapped.
Huh. Fair enough. The more you know.
The more you make.
Anyway,
because we're not fact checking this, so like maybe it's true.
Anyway,
I did Google it.
Okay.
So
according to Google.
According to this Reddit post.
According to
the most reliable source for information.
Yep.
Reddit. The last.
So if we're wrong, leave it in the comments. But if you're wrong and you comment again, correct you.
Yeah.
True. Gambit, how do you actually feel about your own team?
I'm sort of iffy about it because I don't have much outside of Crew, but I, as a person, really like using Tricker, and I also really like Bear. So I'm happy with the team. I just wish I could have gotten Kilowattrel instead of somebody else who should have been here but can't be.
Okay. Can I sit here and gas up one mon in particular that just has never gotten a UBL spotlight, but it has? I've seen it perform incredibly in other leagues.
It is Primate.
Magmar.
It's Primate. Primate is like actually crazy. It's like this mon's insane. Obviously, like there's not real beat up here, but like I think beat up is like if you're drafting Primate, drafting like an actual beat up besides like Ambipom on this team is like kind of cope anyways.
That beat up Luxio, bro.
Does it get beat up? That's crazy.
No.
Well,
No.
You're just gaslighting us.
yeah,
Yep.
Just gaslighting us. You know what? That's fine. Oh, speaking of Luxio, my other issue with this team, I'm not even gonna lie. I bet the person who made this team is pretty handsome though.
Sure.
There's no actual intimidate.
There isn't. I don't. I see myself bringing Luxio so rarely.
But I think
If at
it's
all.
fine. Weirdly enough, I think not having an intimidate lets this team actually be more fluid. Just because it means you're not running the same, like, because obviously you're running like the same 4 every week. You're running Blursa, Comfy, Dozo, Bronzong, but it doesn't force you to go even more telegraphed and run 5 of the same Pokemon. Like, that's what I like about this team. It's got stuff that you can diversify with. Blood Moon, also, if your opponent is like, yeah, they're going hard Trick Room, I'm just going to focus on denying Trick Room. Blursa is just like, it's just fast enough that, like, next to Rabombi, like, it just wins the game. Also because Rabombi gets fake tears.
True.
Miss Magius is also pretty crazy, you know, being Diet Flutter main. I'm a big fan of Diet Flutter main. It's more draftable than Flutter main, you know. More draftable than Flutter main, folks. Miss Magius, both leagues. Flutter main, no leagues. Spoilers.
Yep.
No Flutter mains. No Flutter main got drafted, which is fair. I understand.
I
I might disagree, but I understand why.
Yeah. I would have, but I want my bear more.
Yeah, I think Blursa's probably, thinking on it now, I think Flutterman's probably one of the worst S tiers, but S plus, just because like it's fine, and that's it. It's just fine. But we have the Windamon on this team as well, Bronzong. So
Yep.
that's actually pretty heat. I like this team a lot, and like part of that's bias, but like we have a good steel type, multiple good steel types actually. We have
Multiple with fairies, but no dragon.
Yeah. We don't have like an offensive fairy type, which is a bit, unfortunate. We don't have a grass type, but do we care about not having a grass type with this team? I feel like this is one of the very rare exceptions where I'm like, grass type is whatever. Because like we have 2 water weaknesses, and both of those, like, I feel like the water weakness just doesn't really matter a ton. Like, Blursa's going to take a lot from water type attacks, but like Magmar's just going to take a lot from a lot of things. It's just there to soak up damage. So it's one of those mons where like I don't really consider it a weakness unless they're, bringing like surf, muddy water every week. Then it's a legitimate problem. But I don't know. I think this team actually is quite adept at playing through stuff. I like it. I think it's fat. First team, we have a neutral on Ghost. Let's see if we can get 1 positive on Ghost in this league. We did in the other one. Let's just see. That's going to be our game. Can we get a positive on Ghost? And if they do, can we get a positive on Fairy? Because those are the 2 hardest types, and we at least have like Fairy neutral, which is good. We have 1 Fairy weakness, and it's Primate, and that thing is not staying a fighting type in front of a Fairy.
Yeah.
It's gonna Terra Poison or Terra Fire and just wall the team. It's so good. I love Primate. It's so crazy. Like having Diet Fluttermane and Diet Annihilate on one team is kind of nuts.
I was
gonna say like you could Terra Ghost your Primate and really make it a Diet Annihilate.
There is actually one thing that I'm like about this team about. It has too many Eviolite.
That's fair. Like, you can't run Magmar and Primeape.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could. Like,
it's
Primeape...
really tough to do so.
Okay, so here's kind of my philosophy. Magmar doesn't need to run the Eviolite because there are going to be games where you want it to die turn 1. Like, if I'm running Magmar, Bronzong, Dondozo, Blursa in the back, I'm going to want Magmar to die that turn so I can switch in my actual Trick Room offense. Because otherwise I'm just having it sit there to set up Bronzong's body presses and stuff, or I have to pivot it out manually, and that feels a lot less good when you're under Trick Room to pivot manually.
Yeah, there's also the thing which I'm maybe giving Gambit ideas here, because I don't know if they thought of this, but you could do you could just do a jetpack over here.
Yeah, I was thinking that or like red card. If-
Yeah, both of those could work
Set up.
easily.
Red card, you could do eject button, because I think
Eject button.
does eject button still target into that slot if they switch out? You want to say it doesn't? Whatever. I mean, we'll test it.
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll test that. Because that's just... Eject button is one of those things where it's not common enough for me to know the mechanics of it by heart. Just like magnet pull. If you guys know, leave it in the comments. We're driving engagement with this one. Yeah, but I think Winda makes a really good point. Like, the fast mode is super underwhelming. And that's probably my fault as the person who built this team. Like, I should have focused on it more, but...
It was nice.
Yeah, I also just think the TR is just so good. It's so hard to beat, too.
Yeah.
That it makes it feel worth it. Because, like, you can even deny Trick Room, but it's like, who cares? The Trick Room mons are just so bulky that you're just going to be having to, like, you have to play the mind game. Okay, do they set Trick Room? Or, like, if you lead Blursa Bronzong, it's like, do they set Trick Room or do they try to kill me? Like, they could just, instead of trying to go for Trick Room, they could predict, like, I'm going for, say, Imprison, and then just Iron Defense Protect. And then it's like, well, you wasted a turn clicking Imprison, and nothing happened. Also, this team has a lot of Imprison Pokemon, by the way. And it has one of the fastest Tailwinders in the format. That has Imprison.
So which is really nice.
Yeah,
so I also can't... I can't sing enough praises for Bronzong either. I the mon that I drafted initially, and I was like, yeah, it's a good mon, maybe a little over expensive for its role, and then like using it just changed my opinion of it drastically.
Yeah,
such a good mon.
Yeah,
insanely good.
I've always been in the camp. It's like Bronzong at A. That's a little high. It's kind of like Rotom Wash in A. It's like it's high. Then you see Bronzong opposed to Rotom Wash, which I think probably is too high, and that's a discussion for next season. But you look at Bronzong and you're like, well, never mind. This thing is crazy.
Especially with Terra.
Oh yeah. I will say I think Rabombi does a lot for this team that Kilowattrel couldn't, and I think that is something that has to be considered. Just because of being able to look your opponent dead in the eye and say, if you have a Tailwind Pokemon that's 123 or lower, you cannot click it. I think that's so good. And because
it's pretty much just immune to fake out.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where it's unexpected. Your opponent is not going to expect the Imprisoned Tailwind.
Or maybe they will now after seeing this video.
Maybe they will now. Right, well. Maybe now they're going to prep for it.
Edit it out. Edit it out.
But to be fair,
put the vote.
True. Let's actually restart the video. But even then, like, telling them is like just saying this. Like,
it's just a mind game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like Rabombi's a mind game mon, and it enables Blursa so much that it's like it's a real genuine threat outside of Trick Room.
It's also one of the few Tailwind setters that actually has a win condition in and of its own because it gets quivered in.
Yeah, it can start turning up momentum if your opponent doesn't respect it. Like, we kind of saw that happen a little bit last season with Lord Nobody. It wasn't that you didn't respect it when you two faced, but like he ran Quiver Dance Baton Pass. So it was one of those things where it's like, well, that's not good.
Great. Now I have a +3/+3 Blood Moon Ursaluna to deal with.
Yeah, and it's got like Blood Moon is super physically bulky as well, so it's like now you're in a really tough spot. Like, you can just lead Magmar Rabombi and start setting up Quiver Dance and then Baton Pass into Larsa, and it's like, well, GG, game's over. And like the
Yeah.
other moves you can just run like Struggle Bug, Moon Blast, like just stuff like that, just so it has ways to deal damage on its own and like lower the opponent's stats. All right. Is there anything else we want to add about this team, or just start ranking it?
I think we're good. I just need to check one thing. Does Rabombi get the best
Prankster
bug type
fucks me
move of
up.
all time?
Prankster fucks me up.
No! Come on! Why don't you get String Shot? Ugh.
Of course,
You know
it doesn't get string shot.
Hey, you know who does get string shot?
Corona.
Levanny. My goat.
True. If only it was in
It
the
is.
game.
It is in the
It is.
game.
I know.
Drew, it's just terrible. It's just
But
so bad.
realistically, it's not in the game.
I
Never been
will
in
say,
the game.
I will say it is actually kind of heat on some teams in Nat decks, exactly, not in this format.
Run it on your Leaf.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually run it with my Leafeon team. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna grab 40 grass types in one and Ninetales.
Nah, actually, go into Reg Chi and use Leafeon.
Go
with
and do
Koraidon.
it. Koraidon Leaf.
Please,
It's a set.
Okay, you guys,
Koraidon
please don't.
Leafeon.
I'm never going to do that. Just because I would
Howard.
cry. I would be playing for like 3 hours just to get one win.
Howard.
All right. Anyways, where are we ranking this?
I personally, and I don't know why I would have the good opinion of this team. I think it's an 8.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's A tier.
I think it's 80.
I think it's A with the possibility of moving down. I think it's a lower A tier team just because it doesn't
Yeah.
have that fast mode on deck immediately. But I think it's a very, very strong team. You cannot disrespect this team ever.
You can't disrespect Blood Moon.
Yeah, can't disrespect Blood Moon, but you also can't disrespect Bondozo. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set up to +6 attack, +6 defense. Bondozo
Yeah.
over here does not care, buddy.
Nope.
He is unaware.
I'm going to whirlpool you.
I'm going to
Bondozo's-
sit here and stare at you, and you're going
Bondozo
to
will
like it.
scratch its head and say, "Huh? You boosted your stats? I was unaware."
I don't see any boosts anywhere.
Boosts? Mod check? Boosts? I did the mod check. All right. Anyways, we have the Alolan Aloha Chews.
The stolen team.
The stolen
And
team.
by that I
coached-
mean they stole the team name.
yeah, coached by Vatrena. This is
Yeah.
Goldango, Screamtail, Zapdos Galar, Rotom Heat, Rhydon, Furret, Toxapex, Meowscarada, Dragalge, Volbeat, and Rufflet. So I have to ask,
I can't-
did they
I
did
can't
they do
believe
the
they
random
fell for the Rhydon propaganda.
So did they do the random the entire time? Or was it just for the first couple picks?
I don't know.
Because I don't know if it was just for Goldango or if it was for the whole draft.
I
I
think,
think
it
this
was
team's-
just Goldango.
It might
That's
have
at
been
least
like
what I remember.
Goldango Screamtail. Anyways, I'm gonna say it. You guys aren't gonna like this. Huh?
Oh,
That's all I gotta say about this team. Huh?
Well,
I'm scratching my head like, huh?
well,
What is this team exactly? Why do we need 5 ice weaknesses?
this team does in fact have Pokemon on.
I don't want to be mean because I think this team has potential, and I was too mean in Dusk PRs. But I don't get it at all. There's no fake out on this team.
there's no real Trick Room setters.
Yeah, there's not a real Trick Room setter. I guess like if you run.
Screamtail? That's a decent Trick Room setter.
No,
I just don't like it as a Trick Room.
Screamtail is at its best when it's just sitting there Encore Disable, locking you and forcing you to play around
But
it.
doesn't really have a mode for it either.
On this team, yeah, it does.
It has Rhydon.
Volbeat immediately goes. Zoop. Oh, for TR. Yeah, no, there's
Yeah.
not really TR. Dragalge's not good enough.
It-
It's not good enough.
Regalge's not wrong.
Dragalge Rhydon?
Regalge
Rhydon-
Rhydon, and that's it.
Don't.
And then
Folks,
that
Rhydon
loses
is
to an
crazy.
Earthquake.
I will say Rhydon is well. Hold on. This team is like if you run TR, you're always tearing Rhydon. I think that's what my issue with this team is. It's way, way, way too linear. Like, I look at this team and I'm like, yeah, it's clicking. So, like, you just fake out Volbeat or ignore it. Ignore in air quotes. Like, ignore it on the tailwind turn. Ignore it on the tailwind turn by clicking taunt after it goes for tailwind. Because also, like, the fast mode on this team isn't really that good.
Screamtail isn't there to do damage. Meowscarada's already fast. It doesn't need that tailwind really. And
well,
then Zapdos
I disagree.
Galar needs
kinda
the tailwind.
Meowscarada needs tailwind, otherwise it gets 30 0'd by Rabombi.
Well, it's gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, I guess you got a point.
Yeah,
I like
tailwind's
Zapdos.
mostly nice, but yeah, for Zapdos, for Goldengo.
Yeah, so I like Zapdos Galar here, but at the same time, it's like we have 2 physical attackers besides it. So we're not getting the most value out of it. It like the Zapdos Galar slot kind of reminds me of Gig's team, where it's kind of like it's good, but in that slot, but it feels weird having it. It's like, why do we have a Defiant Pokemon here? I just don't understand. I guess it's it to deter Snarl.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's not a bad plan for it.
We also have no Snarl ourselves. Our only Will-O-Wisp is Rotom Heat, which... who was it? Who was the hesitant Dusk? Air. I complimented Rotom Heat on his team because he had supplemented it with other Will-O-Wisp Pokemon, so it didn't feel like it had to run the same set every week. This one, it kind of does. Like, we have a lot of naturally high defense, but that's skewed. Like, that's skewed towards our slower side of things. Like, it's a decently bulky team, but again, it's skewed towards the lower end. Faster end doesn't really have a ton of bulk outside of Rotom and Screamtail. Like, Zapdos is fine. Like, it's bulky enough if you want to invest into it, but with this team and how you're going to have to deal with Tailwind Wars from time to time, I don't think you can run Zapdos Galar bulkier unless you think your opponent is going to commit super hard to a Tailwind Pokemon. Well, an Intimidate Pokemon, rather, sorry. I don't know. This is one where I just don't know what it does. Because we have no Fake Out. Which, this is a team that, like, we get rid of Toxapex, throw on a Fake Out Pokemon, and I think it's, like, infinitely better. Just because Goldengo then doesn't feel as linear, like, next to Furret, next to Volbeat. We have a third partner for Goldengo, so that it doesn't die right away, and it also gets the potential to just set up nasty plots.
Yeah. I think this is a team that like goes against one of my philosophies as well. I'm not saying that this is a bad like, you know, that I'm right or anything, but this is just a personal thing. Is it's got a lot of Pokemon that just don't do damage. Like, Screamtail does not do damage, realistically. Ferret doesn't really do damage, though I believe he gets Super Fang, so that's, like, kind of damage. There's Volbeat that doesn't do damage, Toxapex doesn't do damage. Like, there's going to be a lot of times where the team's going to have to bring, like, 2 Pokemon into a game that aren't going to be able to do damage, and I don't know if the rest of the team's going to be able to pick up the slack of that.
Yeah. I think the only one that kind of doesn't apply with is Screamtail, just because, like, by using Encore and Disable, it kind of forces your opponent in to play super, super aggressively immediately. And if they don't play aggressively by trying to kill the Screamtail, they do kind of just lose. But saying that, Screamtail is not an easy Pokemon to use. Like, it seems like it would be like, oh, you just run Booster Speed, Encore, Booster Speed, Disable, Booster Speed, like all that stuff. It's not that clear. It's a lot harder to use, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for me, if it was easy to use, it would be drafted every season.
Yeah.
And my mental would tank. Just because I hate playing around Screamtail. It's, like, actually such an unfun Pokemon. But
I hate playing around Volbeat more.
Yeah.
Oh, they're both super unfun, but at least Volbeat dies if you touch it with an attack.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't have many strong feelings towards this team besides like I don't get it. This is one of the rare occasions where I want to see a team in practice before I would be able to properly evaluate it. But I also think this team is really hard.
Yeah,
And,
I
like,
don't really know. Like, I kind of just want to say low B, high C.
yeah. I think this is definitely on the lower end of Dawn teams. Just because it feels so confused. And there's
I
also
wanna
a
see-
like a lot of super big bangers too. I think I have to put it in C myself.
I just want to know what like the synergizing is.
Yeah, I will say if they did do the random the whole time, like this is fine for like a completely random draft. But
Which I respect.
yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't get it. So I'm leaning towards C.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have the moderator that ruined a lot of relationships with this draft. A
And
fat
also
rat
the one
and
who
the
who
druid,
has now has a different team name because their team name got stolen.
they got sniped.
They were the original snipe victim.
True. All right, so we have Dripped Out Dracovish and Fat Rat with Kilowatt, Qianpao, Kilowatt Drill, Tinkaton, Sarina, Swampert, Weird Ear, Spupa, Gouging Fire, Okidogi, Dusknoir, and Karkol.
This team is so annoying.
Now, is it annoying because you got sniped about 50 times, or
No, it's annoying because there's a Qianpao and Gigaton Hammer I have to look at.
I would say that's not
Yeah.
even the most scary part of it. It's that it's Qianpao Gouging Fire.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the big thing.
Qianpao,
Yeah.
Gouging Fire, and Okidogi. I want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to fight.
Okidogi Gouging Fire is going to be so annoying for people to fight. Just because you can't intimidate it. Otherwise, it's a
I mean-
free +1 to Okidogi.
like-
And then Gouging Fire just sits there and makes it even fatter. Okidogi can just
Yeah.
sit there and bulk up. Oh my goodness. It's just so annoying. And then you
It's
look
so
at the
annoying.
lower end of the team. And it's super underwhelming.
I know
don't
you don't like
15
Swampert.
points
'cause,
Serena is pretty good.
15 points. 15 points, guys. 15 points.
I think having Queenly Majesty specifically is pretty good into this team.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
really important for keeping Qianpao alive from like Mark Punches randomly just popping out of nowhere. Keeping
Yeah.
its Ashmore safe, things like that.
Preventing fake out as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some weird feelings, though. There is no real fast speed tier. We have 3 Pokemon that are going to effectively be over base 100 because Gouging Fire is always running booster speed. Like, it's just always doing
Yeah.
that. Like, that's just Gouging Fire. Like,
Yeah.
that's just the Mon. But like beyond that, our speed mode is base 90s. Well, one base 90 with fake out. Our redirection is Rage Powder, which of course not every team is going to have a Follow Me Pokemon. But well, technically every team could have a Follow Me Pokemon.
Just not,
Yeah, but I say how good they are is another question.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Then again,
relative to-
we are talking
relative to
about a
Spupa.
Spupa, so
Yeah, Spupa's just like deceptively hard to kill most of the time. So I just wish we had something above 94 speed. Like even
just
just
want to take a night nap.
100. Like even if we had just 100. You know what would be really good on this team though? Probably not for the type chart, but just to have Zapdos Galar. Zapdos Galar
Yeah, I
would
was-
look really good on this team. Just because it gets enabled by Gouging Fire. It enables Gouging Fire, it enables Qianpao. Like, it's got coaching itself, so it can sit there and set things up. But this team doesn't have that. The Trick Room mode is also unrunnably bad. Like,
Let's go Swampert.
Even for Rat standards, I don't even think Swampert is, like, bad necessarily with this team, because, like, you have Weird Ear to switch in on grass types.
Yeah.
But it's your only reliable form of damage besides Dusk Noir. And that thing, like, running attack investment, like, meaningful attack investment in that one feels super, super bad.
Yeah.
The speed tiers for TR are also really, really rough. Kilowattrel's nice, kind of, because it has competitive, but competitive isn't what this team needed. It needed something more along the lines of Viant. I also think Carcoal's a good mon. Like, it can actually wall some things. However, it's not very good here, because it doesn't add anything. Unless it's meant to just be Flash Fire, switch it in on a fire type, and just wall fire types.
Do you have Gouging Fire for that?
Yeah. You have Gouging Fire, you have Swampert. Serena, if it goes for Terra Water, walls every fire type. Though every fire type kind of walls Serena, so it's, give and take. But I don't know. I like this team. I think it's good.
Yeah.
But I honestly almost feel like you want to get rid of Kilowattrel for, like, a generally fast Pokemon.
That angers me.
Just because, like, what I'm about to say is a sin in terms of Draft League. You don't need Tailwind with this team. Like, this team's better without Tailwind. Just don't draft Tailwind. Like, even the offensive pieces are bulky enough that they can survive outside of it. Like, this is almost, like, a very mid-Reg F meta team. Because you have Qianpao, Gouging Fire, Okidoki. And then you have Serena, which is a prio blocker. You have Tinkaton, which helps provide priority. Fake Out, it does a lot of damage, especially next to Howls. Those Gigaton Hammers kill literally anything that's a fairy type.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Just,
So,
how
like-
would you feel, just 1-for-1, if you swapped Kilowattrel for Mienshao? I don't remember if Mienshao got drafted. I don't remember. But if just...
I think it's fine. I don't think Mienshao's bulky enough, though, for outside, like, a Trick Room game plan. You'd probably have to get rid of one of the slow mons for a, like, even just, like, Fletchinder. Like, a mon that's gonna die turn 1, but get Tailwind up if you have Mienshao. At least Mienshao gives you a good wide guard, though.
It would
Gives you
give good
coaching.
wide guard and fake out and coaching. That's what I was thinking anyway.
I don't think Swampert's that bad of a wide guarder.
No, it's not. But, like, there's just every team, except for you, has a grass type. So it's like, wait, did Vitrina have a grass type? Yeah. One thing that's really funny about this team and Vitrina's team, if you look down, well, not Vitrina's team, but if you look at Rat's team, Rat has one mon of every single type.
That's true.
Every single type. All 18 types are represented, which is funny. That doesn't mean it's good, because you're double dipping it. Because the type that you end up double dipping in is fire, so you actually end up taking on the attributes of the fire weakness, as well as having this overwhelming rock weakness, which, even if this was one fire type, you would still have. Because if you have every type in the game, you're still weak to rock.
True. That's how you beat fucking Primal Giratina and Pokemon Insurgent.
I didn't play that game.
I didn't either.
Good.
Well, okay. I played a little bit of Insurgents, but like it was so hard to get into it because of how the story was so needlessly edgy.
Yeah.
It was killing people for the sake of killing people and having cultists. It's like, do we need this? It's Pokemon. We can come up with cool stories without that. Not everything needs to be dark and edgy. But I mean, it's a product of its time.
That's true.
All right. So where are we rating this?
I want to say it's just under mine.
I was going to say top of B.
Yeah. I think for now I want to put it in B. It's very possible that I could see it being an A tier team, but
Yeah.
I
mean,
feel like
I fully expect me to be the last one in A tier, so just under mine would be like top of.
yeah, that'd be like top of B. All right, next up, we have this little known, we have this new player. They're a 3 out of 10
Brandon.
draft player. They've never played before. They said we have to be nice to them, so I think I'm actually
No.
gonna be extra mean to them.
Yeah,
we
I
got
specifically will
the
go
Everton
harder.
Espions and this guy named what's that? Winda? Luzda? Is it Luzda? Oh no, it's Winda. Because Winda's gonna win the league.
Yeah,
I
like
had
how
to
you
include that in the
open up
video.
your
I was
window when
wait-
it gets too hot.
Yeah, true. We have Ursaluna, Spectria, Reuniclus, Tauros Paldea Aqua, Salazzle, Appleton, Honchkrow, Clefable, Zapdos, Revavroom, and
Took my fucking
Fletchling.
dragon, bro.
okay, I gotta say this. Why doesn't Revavroom learn U-turn?
Why doesn't it learn U-turn? Why?
It's so
Why
weird.
doesn't it? It's a car.
It's a car. It's so weird. I mean, I don't think this mon would be saved by having U-turn by any means, but like, that's more justification for why we could have given it U-turn.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't believe Canada didn't let me read my own team out. SMH.
Hey,
It's even worse because
do it.
the Japanese name is Round Trip.
That is funny. That's really funny. All
Why
right.
doesn't it get fucking U-turn?
All right. Winda, do you want to give your thoughts first? Because you don't have a a draft review video out yet. That'll be out, sometime next year.
Bro.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry, that was mean.
No, you are
Wrong.
perfectly justified. I really need to get around. I haven't recorded season 12 yet. Okay, like half of season 12. It's mostly team builders. Anyway, so I got sniped a decent amount in this draft as well. And then I sniped Gambit. So I'm sorry I took your apple, but I was also
fucking apple pie, bro.
I was also the reason why Appleton got moved up in points originally, so I just want to put that out there. But yeah, I want to use a lot of different mons. For some reason, someone said Spectria should come down to A, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do that. And so I grabbed Spectria, and I think Spectria is a very good Pokemon. And
me.
then the rest.
It's me. You can call me out.
yeah.
I'm right here. It's me, and I stand by that.
I didn't know who it was, so.
It was me.
It was
I'm the only one crazy enough to do it.
Hey,
so-
I backed it up. I was
Everyone-
with the chaos.
Everyone backed it up.
I backed
True,
up and I was like, yeah, sure, let's see how this goes. I think the speed tiers look a bit iffy at times. There are some gaps that I'm not a super big fan of, notably between Revavroom and Honchkrow. 2 Pokemon at 100 base speed, 3 flying types is but they all do kind of different things, even though they all set Tailwind, they're very different.
Also,
I
one
really
of them-
don't... Go on.
One of them is not a real mon. It's Fletchling, so we'll just say 2 flying types in Fletchling.
True.
Yeah.
It's only got the 1 TR setter on a team with Ursaluna, which really sucks, but at least it's a fairly reliable one. It just sucks that it has to be running Trick Room most of the time. But otherwise, I feel pretty solid about this team. I think Clefable's got enough good partners to sit next to it. Things like Spectria, set up Trick Room, or even set up Revavroom, set up Tailwind. It's got good enough partners. I'm a big fan of the Tauroses. I think they're just generally good mons. Yeah, I feel all right with this team. Obviously, not. I don't think this is the best team in the league, but I think it's very, very good.
Yeah, this team's terrible. I'm joking. I'm joking, obviously.
No, I'm not.
I'm giving you that crap because you're here. No, this team is good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's one of those teams where it's like you see the weaknesses, but it's kind of hard to say how you would improve it. Like, I don't know, not draft 2 poison types, 2 normal types, a bunch of mons weak to electric types, but like you have Ursaluna, so it's like, who cares?
One of those is a fletchling anyway, and then if you take out fletchling, then
it's
then that
neutral.
becomes neutral.
my
Still weak to
goodness.
ice, I think.
Oh my goodness! Wait, we didn't check.
What?
Green on Ghost.
I'm green on
Ghost.
fairy.
Green on
Oh
Ghost.
my God.
Oh, red on fairy. Green on Ghost, red on fairy.
Yeah, I'm
Also,
green. I'm green on
yesterday-
ghost, red on fairy.
Yeah, yesterday you were like, "Oh yeah, it's so hard to get a green on Ghost."
So hard.
We're 3 teams in a row with green on Ghost.
Again, in fairness, one of them's a fletchling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So realistically, you're neutral.
Yes,
Yeah.
and still weak to fairy.
Yeah.
Fairies
Also-
are definitely a big weakness of the team. But that's partly why I drafted Revavroom, because I wanted mons that could beat fairy types.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go on a little side tangent about Revavroom. Why didn't they give it the boss moves? Like when you
What?
have when
Yeah,
you're
why
facing
aren't they
the
actual
boss
moves?
Revavroom cars. No, they're actual moves. Like they're coded
No, I
into the
know.
game to be obtainable. Just not by Revavroom. Why? Were they afraid Revavroom would be broken? Because those moves aren't even that good. They're like
Sat on the
base-
Revavroom.
They're like base 100. It would just give it a bunch of stabs. Oh no. Revavroom has stabs? Guess what?
if you
It
could, like-
still loses 90 trillion and O to any ground type that's 91 speed or above. And guess who's 91 speed or above? Both Landorus forms.
Which aren't drafted.
True.
Well, yeah, I was talking about more so in terms of the general landscape of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wait, did Garchomp get drafted for you guys? I
Nar.
don't think it did.
Excadrill did. And that thing kind of hard walls Revavroom.
No, it's got Temper Flare and high horsepower.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's gonna miss the high horsepower, live on 1, and then Oko Tempered Flare. Watch.
Real.
Terrifier Tempered Flare.
Okay.
Don't win it. Don't.
The other good quote unquote ground type is like Tinglu.
What do you mean good, quote unquote? Tinglu is good. It's like just a. Also, we're gonna go back to the first team on the list.
What do you mean? That doesn't exist.
Huh? Good ground type. Yeah,
no,
I don't see it.
What?
I don't see it.
I don't see one.
Oh, right. It's Terra Ground Taldoso.
Oh, true. True.
You're so annoying. That's all I'm gonna say. Is you're so annoying. You're so annoying.
Yeah, also me and Gambit are the Bear Brothers this season.
That's true.
The Care Bears.
Which brother bear are you?
Well, I think since I've got the less good Ursulina, I think that means I'm the little brother.
Oh,
Wait.
but that means I die. Fuck.
Well, you do have the one that's, pretty
A
close
zombie?
to death.
Yeah, it looks like a zombie, so yeah, that also
Yeah.
makes sense.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can't believe Gambit is kill.
I just realized I'm so young in this call. I'm so much
Yes.
younger than both of you.
I'm the
Oops.
oldest. And that makes me feel terrible about myself.
You're what, 25?
24.
24?
Oh, I'm the oldest. I was gonna say, there's no way you're
This is
older
so
than me.
huge.
Yeah, Wind actually
No offense.
47.
Oh, true.
Wind actually works for Parliament. Being the breakfast boy.
In the-
I don't know where I was gonna go with that bit.
I
It's like,
don't know
I have
either.
to, I have
I
to
don't
have
even
some
know what-
resolution to this.
Man, what is a breakfast? Anyways,
That's a good question. I don't know. It's the first 2 words that popped into my
Winda.
head.
I feel like we
Okay,
haven't
your
talked
team
about
is-
this team.
Your team is very scary. Because of that little horse right there.
It's just
Like the first 5 Pokemon terrify me.
But Salazzle's the 5th Pokemon.
Yeah, it fakes me out. That's it. That's what I'm scared of.
You're so
Yeah.
annoying. You're so annoying.
That's it.
Have I
That's
told
all
you
it
that?
does.
Have I told you that
What?
today? That you're
Okay,
so
what
annoying?
is Salazzle here for other than fake out?
So in some matchups where you don't need to go max speed on Spectre, you can acid spray with Salazzle.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Linda. I'm sorry I have to be the one to say this to you. It's Cope. It's Cope.
But also I needed the fire type, and it hits reasonably hard and gives me potential fake out Trick Room if Follow Me Trick Room doesn't work.
That's true.
That's justifiable.
There we
But saying it's for the acid spray site, come on.
Nah,
I know that's not like
trust.
the only reason, but like
Yeah. Yeah, it's also got
No, no, no.
Will-O-Wisp, which is really nice.
it also helps your fairy type matchup by not giving you 40 fairy type weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like you would have 3 weaknesses and 1 resist, being Revavroom. Which I mean is a
Yeah.
pretty darn good resist for fairy types.
Yeah,
But
but it
so
just means that
Salazzle-
Revavroom's
Salazzle's still taking like a decent chunk from fairy hits.
depends on
It
the
quad
fairy, but
resists, yeah, but it's so frail.
Oh, it is frail.
Yeah, but I mean it's frail, but it like 117, 111 is like not bad. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's not.
It's like Kilowattrel, but slower and a little bit more damage. Wait, is Kilowattrel's 125? Yeah. Oh wow, that's actually kind of crazy. If you almost move
Yeah,
the
Pokemon's crazy.
the 6 over, and then you just add 2, like it actually becomes the same base stats. Not base stats, but same speed and special attack as Kilowattrel. But it's a better mon because it has Will-O-Wisp. I say this as the guy who drafted Kilowattrel. Don't at me.
Okay.
It has Will-O-Wisp, it has other moves.
It's got knockoff.
It does have other
you-
moves. It has
Knockoff,
Uh-huh.
taunt, encore.
It has
Thunder
Breaking
Wave.
Swipe.
It has
Breaking
Thunder Wave for
Swipe.
some reason.
why
Yeah,
does it
for
get
some
Thunder
reason-
Wave?
I really don't know. I drafted it and I was like, wait, why does this thing get Thunder Wave? What on earth?
It's like, wait,
I'm
this-
also going to run Dragon Cheer plus Appleton 1
Get
week.
Dragon Shear? That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna run Crit Appleton.
That's so funny.
Crippleton.
I can't wait for that. That's so funny.
I can't wait for. I was gonna be a butthead and say crit body press, but like now that I think about it, that does kind of just destroy most of the teams in this league.
That's so good. Bro, imagine
I-
crit body press beside a fucking
So
Bactrier.
that's hot. I won't lie, that's
It
hot.
is hot.
That is pretty hot.
Yeah.
Except I
think
don't like
one-
Appleton. I'm like renowned as like someone who doesn't believe in Appleton, even though like because I always attribute it to it's Winda, not Appleton. Like, I'm sorry, Winda, but using you as a gauge for how good Appleton is like using me as a gauge for how good Rhydon is. It's like sure,
Don't Rhydon
you, it's like sure you can do it, but it's not necessarily indicative of how good the mon is itself. Just because obviously there's so much that goes into is a mon good.
Yeah.
Like there's format, there's this, that, and the other, and Appleton has no coverage. Which I went back and looked. I thought it had coverage last gen. No. It's just never had coverage. So I'm
No.
sitting here thinking like, how did I let them convince me that this was a great mon back in Gen 8? We've never called it a great mon in Gen 9, to be fair. But back in Gen 8,
It's okay.
how? I think it's because I blindly followed whatever Winda said. But now, I'm a good player. Cut that from the video, please. No, Canner, cut that from the video. I can't let anyone know that I think I'm good.
I was about to say, you're the editor, bro.
Yeah, the editor. It's a funny way of putting, going right into the YouTube studio and uploading the video file right away.
Real.
I think one thing I at least want to mention, I think I mentioned this to kind of like briefly, like in DMs, but I really want to see Saluna work not just as a Guts Pokemon, because I think it can, and I think Guts is obviously its peak, obviously, like, don't get me wrong, Guts Saluna, Facade, high horsepower / headlong rush, maybe even Earthquake next to Zapdos is part of the reason why I originally wanted Kilowattrel as well, and then Kilowattrel got taken, and then Rabombi got taken, so I'm here with a Zapdos instead.
My bad, fam.
But yeah, like I think Ursaluna's going to be interesting because I don't think I'm going to run Guts Flame Orb every week. I think that's bait to try and force it every week. And it just being there as a good stuff kind of mon to sit there and be generally good, and also just disincentivize status on it is still quite nice.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you can always run Guts and just have, like, AV. Just run AV Guts.
Yeah.
Like your opponent, like, they could see that the Flame Orb doesn't go off and start disrespecting Guts, and be like, oh, I'm just gonna burn it. Because, like, there are mons on this team that you bring Will-O-Wisp before. Like,
Yeah.
you bring it for Tauros, you bring it for Appleton. Some of the time. It depends on if you're making the call that Appleton's going to be running special, or if it's going to be running its best set, Iron Defense Body Press. And then for Revavroom, because it actually, like, Revavroom getting hit by Will-O-Wisp makes it just unrunnable. Just because it doesn't have enough attack to, you know, get to that point without it. But
Yeah.
I think this team is really good. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I am inclined...
I think it's the better bear team.
I'm going to say A for right now. I can definitely see a case for S. But we have 4 teams left, so I don't want to just shotgun it when it feels pretty relative to A tier.
Yeah, I feel like A
I
tier is
agree.
right.
Alright, next,
I do think it's better bear team.
Yeah. Yeah, just because it's less of a hard commit. One
Yeah.
thing I don't like about the team, though, is, like, Tailwind is kind of fake on this team.
True.
But, I mean, you're just running bulky offense, so it's like, who cares?
Winder
Cheers.
running bulky offense? No, that's not true. That's never happened before. No.
No, I actually refuse to believe that Winder would draft bulky offense. Are you kidding me?
That actually makes me think that you drafted this, actually, not Winda.
Alright.
It's true.
Next up.
Kind of actually drafted my team as well.
Yeah, I actually did every Dusk and Dawn draft. You got
Sure,
me.
you've made every
You
team.
got me. I actually forced everyone to we drafted what team people got. That's what we did. For the
Teams
draft.
were pre-made.
Yeah, teams were pre-made. Draft order was to see who got what team. Anyways, on a serious note, we have the Splishy Splashers. New coach alert.
True.
It's a new coach.
I'm the one. I'm the canner of this team,
Don't get ahead of yourself.
but I am.
You're not me. You're not me.
I'm
Stay in
not
your
you,
lane.
but I'm the you relative to this team.
Stay in your lane. We've got Ogerpon Cornerstone, Excadrill, Azelf, Empoleon, Hippowdon. This thing.
Woo!
Moltres.
Let's go,
Yeah,
baby!
bird chicken. Yeah.
Knucklestack. Knucklestack. Knucklestack.
Knucklestack.
Knucklestack.
Knucklestack.
I hope it goes Terra Ghost Fissure Wars. Then we have Tornadus Therian, the newly A-tier Iron Valiant, Quillfish, and Rugi.
I was gonna comment on when Winda said, like, you're going to A tier. All right. Speaking of which, Iron Valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Iron Valiant and A tier. You might be thinking, these guys are crazy. It literally wasn't
Right.
drafted in A tier when we had it there. What do you want us to do? This one has never
Yeah,
been drafted in
Jamie.
UBL. It's been drafted once, and I dropped it. 'Cause I'm an idiot.
Hi.
Yeah, but you were bad back then, so it doesn't count. I think you
Back
also
then
dropped
was
it.
like last year.
I think you also didn't you also drop it?
Did I?
Yeah, because I don't think you... Because on your Season 10 team, you didn't have Valiant. Your 11 team was the meme. And then 12 was the Bastiodon team. Because you weren't here for 9, right?
I thought I was here for 9.
Were you?
Was I?
I don't think so. Because I think in 9 we still had Pinky and Lyric playing.
Was
until
Gig in
they-
9?
Yeah, Gig has been here since 8. And you weren't.
Yeah.
I want to say your first season was 10.
I want to say first season was 9, because that's
It was 9
when
or
I
10.
drafted the Paris song team.
No, it was 9 because you did the Luminion Bronzor thing
Yeah.
against me. Yeah.
I thought that was with the Hands team.
I think
whatever.
no, I think I did get rid of Valiant for hand. That's what happened.
That would have been 10 then. Because in
Then-
I mean,
10,
I know we still played in 9, so
I
You know
think
what?
no,
I'll check.
because in
Yeah,
9
'cause-
my S tier was Amoongus.
in 9 we played
So I was
because
drafting
they
Paris
brought
Song.
in 9 we had points. We didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in 9. You were in 9.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was
you
about
had
to say,
Valiant. You had Valiant in 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot because you scrubbed out.
True. I didn't go. I did win, like 1. So I'll take.
Who did you? Let's find out.
So I'm gonna get this out of the way. This team is too fast. It's my only real complaint, but it's just too fast.
Man. The crazy part is, this team is slower than like half the Dusk team.
Yeah. I mean,
mean-
it has.
It's got a fast Tailwinder with Torn. It's got booster speed, Iron Valiant, and it's got Sand. And I love me some Drill. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite mons to ever use. But this is too fast. Just bring the speeds down, and this team goes way up.
I think this team doesn't need Ogre Pond Cornerstone. Kind of like take something else, if that makes sense. It doesn't do much here other than be your second grass type, but I mean your first grass type is Greeky. Goated Mon, Okos, Ursaluna, so just keep that in mind.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I think it could actually work because I think Ogre is Ogre Half-Flame drafted in this one.
No.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's the next team.
Son,
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say Ogre Half-Flame would be fine because then you could maybe drop Moltres because Moltres isn't as useful here with Torn. Because they're both kind of Tailwind setters that do very similar things. I suppose it frees up Torn a little bit.
I
Also,
So-
really good into physical attackers not named Ursaluna.
I also don't like Cornerstone on this team because I think like Cornerstone is definitely at its best on like a bulky balance team. And this just isn't that. Like, I don't see any justification to draft Cornerstone on a super physically offensive team. Like, you could just say, I'm going to take this team, drop Cornerstone, grab Teal, and I think it actually moves up a couple points. Just because
Yeah,
that
Teal
way
would really
too-
help.
Like, because your only counterplay to Intimidate is Empoleon, which isn't bad, as we've seen the last couple seasons, but, like, having only one counterplay to it and then having to run Clear Amulet on your 30 Pokemon that just sit there and get intimidated, it feels bad. There's no Snarl as well, so, like, you can't really prolong the game with this team. That's kind
This
of
is
the
stand
only...
offense.
Yeah, it's like an aggressive swing
Yeah.
team, which I think is fine. I don't think it's, like, bad.
Yeah,
But
I also really don't like it, Powdon.
that's
Well-
fair, but you know what they say. You do what you
Pound
gotta
on
do.
Monday.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, because
I don't.
it's that or an A tier, so I get it.
Yeah, I
No,
also
just
don't think
draft
Tyranitar is worth it.
Rest in peace, Gigalith. You will be missed, my child. But yeah, like I think the team has potential. I think the team, as is perfectly fine. But I think a couple changes here and there, maybe to slow it down a little bit, or just like, I mean, maybe changing the S tier. I love Oakapon Cornerstone as well. There's a lot of monsters in this team I actually really like. But yeah, like it's also like Okapon's really nice for redirection, but I think slowing it down will really help because then it gives you options into Trick Room matchups, which there
Yeah.
are a few more of in this division.
Yeah, so speaking of Trick Room, there's no setter.
No,
Realistically, no.
It's Val and Azolf. Oh no, I got hit by a super effective attack. I am dead. Like
I mean, they are both in prison Trick Room setters, which is nice.
Yeah, but the issue is like, especially I think with Azolf that's how it works, but with Valiant you just can't run that. Valiant
It takes
has
up too many move
much
slots.
it needs to do for this team. Like if it was on maybe like a team like yours, Winda, I would be like, yeah, you could probably run Harris and Trick Room and it wouldn't go too negative. But in this team, like you're actually going negative by removing slots into Mons, and I think that even there's a case to be made about that with Azolf. Like you're going negative into a lot of your matchups by having Imprisoned Trick Room. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you auto lose if you don't into Trick Room. Just because this team cannot, like, your way to beat Trick Room is Knackle Stack, Hippowdon, Empoleon.
Yeah.
Which two of those mons get hit by a fighting type attack or a ground type attack, which, someone needs to remind me, did Ursalunas get drafted? Did the Ursalunas get drafted?
No, I don't think they did.
No.
Right,
You must
right,
be
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah,
You must
Hippowdon's
be
actually
thinking of
the
our
only ground type
third
that got
draft.
drafted. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hippowdon's the only ground type that's slow that got drafted.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally. Yeah, I think the Trick Room mode just goes so bad into Trick Room teams. But at the same time, I don't think they're here because it's Trick Room, if that makes sense. They're here.
Yeah.
Those slower Pokemon are here because they help support the team. I think Knackle Stack is a little misguided on this team, though. The team doesn't last long enough for it to get its full value.
That's fair.
And I know that when you were talking to me about the plan and everything, for them, you said there were a lot of mons that they were just like, I want to use this. Which, you know, made it a lot harder on you, so...
I don't mind, because I feel that. I definitely am geared towards Pokemon I like more than I am Pokemon that are good.
I'm not, because I like winning.
Yeah.
That's why I would never draft a Bastiodon.
If you were a truly skilled trainer.
Shut up. It's literally, I'm so glad.
Yeah, keep using that quote. You know, didn't see that 40 times on Twitter yesterday alone. Made its rounds again. Made the rounds again yesterday.
I think
it was literally a bait account, by the way. Like that's all they do.
I'm wondering, like, get rid of Cornerstone for like Rillaboom.
Rillaboom's an S+.
Then you have to drop an A.
Oh, that's true. King Gambit wouldn't really help the Earth.
No.
You know what you could take? Drop Cornerstone, grab Lando Eye.
I was also thinking Lando Eye.
Because it's not great. It's definitely not great. Doesn't help your weaknesses out at all. But it provides something like it, and then you can just, I hate to say this, drop Excadrill for a better A tier.
No.
Nah, it's...
I'm sorry, I love Excadrill, but this format, it's just not it. It's just not it. It's so much worse this in Reg F draft than it is in like Gen 8.
Because there's so many good ground and fire types.
And there's also so many good fast Pokemon now. Like, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure this thing does it underspeed Booster Flutter?
Yes.
It's in sand?
Absolutely it does. Because
That's-
Booster
yeah.
Flutter is like minimum 256 at level 50.
Booster speed ends up hitting 305 at 252.
Yeah. It's
and
minimum 56.
Extra, I want to say hits 152 or 154.
If
So,
it's
like,
154, it would outspeed, but
It might be 152 then. I know. No, base 80s. Base 90s are.
It's 306. So it would have to be. It's 308. So it outspeeds Flutter max speed by 1 point with Sand Rush.
by 3. But I mean, that's irrelevant, right? The difference between 1 and 3 speed points.
Yeah.
That's also not including that their Flutter main just does that, or they have any way to change the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this seems fine. Like, it's fine. It's fine the way it is. If you
I think it's a fun sand team for someone that's like newer / return to draft.
Yeah. I think, like, if your goal is to have an aggro sand team, this is a good team.
I also really like Quillfish on the team.
I disagree.
Because it's one of the only like haze Pokemon we've seen.
Well, we also didn't have Haze on the other charts.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
But
this team
there
also
wasn't a
has.
lot of either.
Which, if we go to your team, you don't have Haze.
Yeah, exactly.
Vitrena has 2 Haze Pokemon. Rat has a Haze Pokemon for sure. He has 2 Haze Pokemon. Winda has a Haze
believe I do.
Winda has 3 Haze Pokemon.
No, 3 haze Pokemon. That's a lot of haze.
Yeah, Winda's got... Well, one of them is probably
Oh.
never going to run it because it's Spectrier. But the other 2 can run it pretty freely. Revavroom and...
That's true. Spectrier.
Yeah, Specky is like the one that doesn't want to run it. I don't know. I think this team's fine. It's fine.
I like it.
Yeah, I would say it's like a B tier below Rat. That's kind of what I feel about it.
Yeah.
It has potential. I can see it. I can see it making playoffs if people don't know how to play around it.
Yeah,
I don't see it taking the championship, but I can see it making playoffs.
Yeah, my only issue with that is like, it is like you have to kind of assume that your opponent doesn't know how to play into sand, and
Yeah, that is the caveat.
Your division is full of great players, so I don't know if that's necessarily going to pass. Speaking of the worst
Speaking
player
of great
in the league,
players.
no, worst player in the league, they're going to go 8th place. They even foretold it in their name.
Uncontested.
Uncontested.
It's not even
like,
going to be
they're
close.
They're gonna be so far in 8th that we're gonna be like, how did you lose 12 games in a 7-week season? How did you lose 12 weeks? It's just not possible. It's Capybara. And uncontested 8th. That's the team name. We're not even joking. The team name is
It's so
uncontested
raw.
8th.
It's so raw.
It's so raw when she's gonna make playoffs. With the name uncontested 8th. What does that mean about every team below it? Just think about that.
True.
I'm just talking shit.
It's okay.
We've
This
got Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Halifin, Klefki, Zoroark, Hisui, Scrafty,
What?
Golurk, Chinchino, my beloved. I am so glad you got drafted, my beloved Porygon 2.
This was actually a
Latios,
snipe.
Thwacky, and Glumt.
Glimpse.
We got Glimt.
Why did you say Zoroark like a Smash announcer?
I was gonna say that.
Why did you go like
Hisui.
Bowser Jr.?
Zoroark, Hisui.
So I want to
It's a
give
good
some thoughts
question.
about this first because I kind of like I help Kathy out a lot with things
Shocker.
and
God, I'm such a Thwacky hater.
And one of the things, well, there's two things. One of them, there's three things. One of them was they immediately got on a Ogerpon and Halfling Palafin, like, just, I want to use this. This seems insane. The second
it's
thing,
two Pokemon Grass, Water, Fire core.
yeah. The second thing is they originally wanted Tinkerton, which got sniped, and then they picked up Klefki and said, "Oh, I probably am going to drop Klefki." And then I said, "Klefki with Palafin and Porygon 2 sounds really good." And third is they really wanted to use Golurk because it's a funny guy.
It is a funny fella.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Klefki is actually better than Tinkaton. It's just
I
true.
agree, especially on the team.
Oh shit! It doesn't. This fucking stupid ass draft doc doesn't have Eerie Impulse. Fuck off.
Corinne.
I can't remember if Klefki gets Eerie Impulse. No, it doesn't. But you know what does? Big P2.
That's Metal Sound.
Big P2. Metal Sound. What is Metal Sound? That's special defense. That doesn't matter.
Huh?
Eerie Impulse.
There's
is
a
special
Latios.
I know, but it still matters.
No.
Yeah, there's a Latios.
Yeah, there's a Latios, there's a Zoroark.
I'm sorry to tell you, Latios is bad because it loses to Staraptor. Sorry to tell you that.
Oh yeah, where's the Staraptors?
I don't know. You guys are just bad at drafting. What am I supposed to say? You guys just are terrible. You didn't draft
Where's your
Staraptor like I did.
Staraptor?
I say, where's your Staraptor?
In finals last season. He's taking a retirement break.
Uh-huh.
He's on temp retirement. I made him kill himself too many times.
Nice Kilowattrel.
Yeah, you wanted Kilowattrel, but you couldn't have it. Suck it, nerd.
You made the team.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You
you still didn't
wanted
get it.
Kilowattrel.
Suck it, nerd.
Woo!
Hey, I didn't want crap in your division. I don't care. You said build me a Blood Moon team. I said,
You did. You
Okay.
gave me Kilowattrel.
yeah. What else was I supposed to give you?
Staraptor, apparently.
Exactly. You were supposed to. It was a test. You're supposed to see. Wait, he didn't give me Staraptor. You're supposed to question my decisions. You're not supposed to blindly accept what I say. I'm not that good that you
Anyway.
need to blindly accept what I say. Come on now. Porygon 2 is the best mod on this team,
anyway.
by the way.
Speaking of things that lose to Staraptor, let's talk about Ogerpon.
As much as I would love to agree with you, it's just not true. This
Get
thing
spray
is still
birded
working.
once.
No, unfortunately, Staraptor's bad.
Okay, bud.
It's only good when I say it's good. You can't say it's good.
Okay, bud.
You can't say it's good. Only I can say it's good. Because I deserved it.
Okay.
I got the right to deserves to say
Okay.
Staraptor is good.
Whatever
come-
you s-
You come back when you've done 24 tours of battle with Staraptor where it's carried me for no
I don't
reason.
want to do that.
Well, skill issue, I guess. But yeah, no, I actually think P2 is like the best Pokemon on this team. Just because I love P2. I'm biased. It also just
I like
doesn't
Zoroark
die on this
solid.
team. It just doesn't die.
There's so many fighting counters.
Yeah. You could disguise it as actually no, disguising it seems like a really bad idea.
I mean, it's immediate after the first turn. However, it could still be a pretty useful illusion.
I mean, yeah, but not on Porygon 2 because Trace and Download should activate, and if neither of them activate, then
Nah, it's analytic. Trust.
Yeah, we're running analytic.
This is
So we're doing
DPS Porygon 2.
yeah, we're actually doing less damage than download. We're doing
Hey,
less
that's not
damage than download
guaranteed.
PT. I mean, most of the time it is, because smart players, like, oh god, what's his name? Scott Iwafuchi, I want to say is what his last name
This
is?
guy didn't even know the guy's name.
I just don't, I know his name, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Iwafuchi something, who was running P2, like, all the time in Reg F. He made it so you EV it, so that if you get higher attack when you Terra, your Terra Blast becomes physical. And then, like, that is a way to check especially defensive mons without physical defense. It's actually very interesting, seeing theory from top players.
Yeah, I love when smart people talk.
I'm gonna be quiet then.
True.
You're not going to find very many smart people here. I'm sorry. You came to the wrong place for smart people.
That's because I didn't come here to listen to y'all.
Yeah, that's why you're bad.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Sorry.
like the fact that this team has good pivoting options to make sure Palafin can get active. Even
Yeah.
if it's just like follow me, flip turn, bring in like intimidate, or bring in screens, or bring in P2.
Fake out.
Bring in fake out pressure. It's just really solid. Like this is a really just solid team.
Yeah, except for
it's
one
also going
tiny little aspect. One tiny,
Is it Golert?
tiny little aspect.
yeah. That was one thing that I saw as well. But
Yeah, 3 base 110s. It's like really muddied where, especially when Zoro or Kasui at the very least is a mon you want to run max speed with. So it's like this might end up going before your Tailwind, so that you might end up losing out on some momentum because of that. Like even with Hearthflame, like if that happens, you could potentially lose momentum.
Yeah.
Like I'm just saying like that's just an issue with it. Like I'm just poking holes in it. It's not bad. Like this is a very, very good team. It's very
It also
hard
could be slower.
to break.
Yeah.
But like I've kind of noticed there's also just a trend happening more and more that we go into Gen 9, and that's just Trick Rooms just going down and down and down and down in people's minds. For good reason. Like
Which
Trick
is
Room
so weird.
Trick Room is just one of those things where it's like it hasn't done super well. So it's like we don't necessarily need to invest as heavily as we did back in the day of Generation 8, just because of how... Because you could end the game before Trick Room ended in Gen 8. We can't do that now, so it often sets things up in a very weird position.
Not in this draft, but we can in current meta.
Well, yeah, in current, we can. But not in the draft. The draft just doesn't have that capacity, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I also think it's very cute that you can kind of do what some teams were doing in Reg F, but with the budget version, with Wacky plus Ogon half flame and use Grassy Glide. Some teams were doing that.
Yeah, so if this
was me, I was one of them.
Is Wacky the same speed? No, it's slower.
No,
right?
No, it's
5 slower.
Yeah, 5 slower. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I knew it was 80 something. I was like, what? Is it the same? I thought it was 60.
That's Incineroar.
Like base 60. No, I know that's Incineroar. I just thought Thwacky was base 60 speed. Not Rillaboom. Not Rillaboom. Wacky. I know Rilla's 80 something. It's 85. Like I know that, but yeah, that's good. That's good. Ogerpon being able to either go for Focus Energy or Sword Stance, I think is super valuable on this team. One thing I have to say, why is Chinchino here exactly?
Something faster than 110.
Yeah, but like I don't even like that it's faster than 110 because like if this is moving before your Tailwind, well, I guess like all of your Tailwind is moving slower. Like all of your opponents, all of your opponents are going to be going for Tailwind faster than you, so you kind of have to add like Encore into it, or run like Thunder Wave, Clef Key to be able to ensure that you get your Tailwind up before your opponent's does. But then you're not doing anything active on that turn.
Yeah, that's an entire setup turn.
I'm gonna be honest. This team's really good, but it is like hard. It's like hard to conceptualize how this team is going to work because there is so many moving pieces every single turn, and like that's not even including this mon right here, Zoro Kasui.
Yeah, I think in the team building aspect, it's a lot of decision paralysis.
Yeah.
There's so many choices to make on this team.
There's a lot of choices to make, not from just Kathy building the team, but also from the opponent. Like, it's gonna be complete like coin toss depending on like what each other brings.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really interesting to see. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. For the record, I think this is this is probably another A tier. I'm not sure if it's better than mine because I have bias towards mine. So
Yeah,
I-
no, I agree. I
I
think I
don't think it is. I think it still might be better than mine, but I don't think it's better than.
Do I like it more than yours? Like bias
It's
of
an
P2
argument you put up.
aside? Yes. I'm gonna say yes because it has. Oh, but it doesn't really have a real TR.
Doesn't
It's just
it
got
has Scrafty
mons
and
that
it
are
has Roller.
tangentially able to perform in TR. Ooh, wow, this
So,
is hard. Window,
like-
where would you put it between before or after
and
Gambit?
I would put it above Gambit.
I'm like slightly leaning towards that. I think it's closer than it seems.
Yeah. No,
Alright,
it's
well,
definitely super close.
yeah, I could honestly see an argument for any of the A tier teams being in any order.
Yeah.
I feel like A is super relative. I feel this, folks, this one is like way harder than Dusk because like the top teams are also relative. It's so weird. This might actually be one of the first drafts where we don't have an S tier. Isn't that crazy to think about?
It's
One of
very
the first
strange.
PRs that we don't have like just a straight up S tier. Because I don't think
And that's not because the drafts are bad, but rather all of the
No,
drafts are like
it's-
good in different areas.
they're good in different areas, and we don't have one that's kind of that all-encompassing. We don't have, like, if we look to, like, let's just turn our eyes towards, you know, something like Dusk, like me and Eris's team. Like, there's nothing. Obviously, it's relative to like how the teams feel within the divisions. There's nothing that feels that step above. That it feels like it's a guarantee. It feels great.
There is no this team is better than all of the others.
Yet. I don't think these last two teams fit that bill either, by the way, but who knows? Maybe we'll agree on something. Next up, another new coach alert. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, new coach. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. We have Otto and the Trixie Tricos with Ting-Lu, Garganackle, Noivern, Blastoise, Rabska, Toxtricity, Ursaring, Typhlosion Hisui, Sceptile, Florges, Lucario.
It's also one of the only coaches that didn't go double A tier for their picks.
They didn't even get a single A tier in their 3 picks.
Team is so.
They're only A tiers.
This feels me. This team is so boring.
Oh, I agree. I also think the speed tiers are terrible.
Yeah, there's such a massive drop off.
Yeah, there's also no redirection at all. I don't even think, like, if we stretch it, is there ally switch? I don't think Rabska gets ally switch.
Yeah, I'm unsure. There's the insane thing to me is there is 0 knockoff Pokemon.
Holy shit.
That is so difficult to do.
Wait. Huh? I knew, like,
Not a
the chart
single one
over
of these
here
Pokemon get
felt...
knockoff.
I knew the chart over here felt empty, but I couldn't... Also, we have one Tailwind, we have one Thunderwave, one Will-O-Wisp,
Snarl,
one
which is
Trick
okay.
Room, one Light Screen, two Light Screen, one Reflect.
4
Only
taunt.
4 Taunt.
It makes me wonder if there's like something wrong with this page,
Yeah.
because I swear Sceptile got knockoff at the very least.
I don't actually think it does this gen. Fucking, you know.
Does it not get knockoff this gen? That's so tragic.
It has Shed Tail. As if that means literally anything.
Grunt. Throat Chop, yeah, it doesn't get knockoff.
Yeah, that's tragic.
That's great.
Let me address the elephant in the room. 94 average special attack. On a team with Ting-Lu.
Good.
Why? Why do we have so many special attackers with Ting-Lu?
The Ting-Lu roll defense special
Special attack.
special attack?
Vessel is special attack, yeah.
Okay, I
Wo-Chien
was
is
swapping
attack.
it with Wo-Chien.
Yeah.
How often do you not bring Ting-Lu?
With this team, Because your team's not fast enough to commit to Tailwind every week. Like, you have to be running
Yeah.
Scarf, Typhlosion, Hisui, which is going to outspeed your Noivern. I don't understand this team. Winda, do you... What are you...
So let's give some initial context. When this team was originally being drafted, we saw the first 2 picks of Tinglu Garg, and we were like, oh my god, someone's actually going to draft Stall.
Yeah, and then Gambit sniped Dondozo from them, and then it was Tinglu, Garg, Blastoise, which still felt like we were going for bulky teams. And then wasn't the next pick Typhlosion Hisui? Or something like that?
It
might have
that
been
or Noivern.
Yeah.
No, I think it was Noivern, because everyone got sniped and was like, no! Like, it started the trend.
Especially
of snipes.
Rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rat actually got sniped. Yeah, he actually got sniped, guys. He just started sniping people.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because it would have happened anyways.
He picked up the gun and started shooting.
Yeah, I will say, this team is fat.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fat.
It doesn't have recovery. Does this team have heal pulse?
No.
Of course,
Rapska
heal pulse
has
is
it?
not. Of course, heal pulse is not in the dock. Why would it be in the dock? That's
The only
crazy.
Pokemon I would guess gets it is Rapska. Let me have a look.
Hold on. I can.
Florges?
No,
Florges doesn't get it.
Yeah, Rapska doesn't get it.
So we just don't. Is there a Pollen Puffmon? I don't think so either.
Rapska doesn't get it.
And Florges doesn't get Pollen Puff either. Does
No,
Sceptile
I think
get-
Florges. No, I think
Does
Florges
Florges
actually
get it?
does get. Yeah, I think Florges gets it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it is a flower, so that makes sense. Does Sceptile get it?
don't believe so.
I will say there is some problems with this draft or this page. There's a few things missing, like Toxtricity getting Encore.
Nope, it's there.
Oh, that's there. But Blastoise getting Reflect isn't on there. Support moves aren't listed. I don't believe. Yeah. There's other things here, like 2 Pokemon here get Redirect.
No.
I say, are you looking at
You're
Nat
looking
Dex?
at you're looking at Natdex.
What?
Blastoise doesn't get no Pokemon here get redirect unless
Yeah,
it's
in
Ally
Nat Dex,
Search.
Blastoise
gets
and
forwarded.
Lucario both get
Yeah.
redirection in Nat Dex.
That's weird. Because
Yeah.
that's a Scarlet Violet.
Oh, are you looking on the dock under Scarlet Violet? That's Natdex format.
Oh.
Yeah, SV is what it is in Natdex. Reflect might just be bugged on this thing. Nope, it doesn't have Reflect either. Blastoise doesn't have
That's
Reflect this gen.
Tragic.
Yeah, because we're on the format Paldea, so it's only Paldea Dex. SV
Yeah.
would count for Nat Dex.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and like there is stuff that's bugged, so it's possible that some stuff is missing here, but I don't see anything that's missing, which is concerning. I mean, hey, at least you don't have to worry about ghost types with this team.
That's true.
So you have a resist in Garg, you have a resist in Tinglu, you
have
have
an
an
immunity
immunity
in
in Ursaring, but I don't get this team.
This team
I think
has Pokemon on.
I think the team has things that can be going for it. Like it's got like
Yeah.
Toxtricity to do things. It has a setter in Trick Room. I'm not gonna call it a good setter because I've used Rapska and don't believe in it anymore.
I'm so
So-
glad.
So I believe in Rapska. I'm not gonna lie. but
No, why did they
on
swap?
on this team, I don't.
There's
I
2 Yawn users, and that's pretty not bad.
I'm not a biggest fan of Florges on this team because I think Florges performs best with Pokemon that can benefit from its symbiosis, and the only one I can really see is Sceptile, who I don't know how is proccing that Unburden in the first place.
Normal gem, quick attack.
True,
This team,
like Adrenaline Orb into Intimidate, because this team like actually kind of gets cooked up a little bit by Intimidate.
this team feels like it's just Tinglu Garganacl
Yeah.
and then other Pokemon.
I agree. It's like Tinglu, Garganacl, and like, okay, but what if we draft a team that like doesn't feel like we need to bring Tinglu every week, and then we forgot to draft the Tinglu mode? Because like the Tinglu mode is Tinglu, Garganacl, Blastoise, Rabsca, Ursaring. Like there's no there's no sixth Mon. Like what's our sixth? Lucario.
Lucario, physical
Sceptile.
Lucario.
I guess it's Shed Tail Sceptile.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you can go Shed Tail, switch into Tinglu before a lot of Tailwind setters, so that if your opponent's running super special offense. I won't lie, this team would be much more equipped in Dusk because of me. And me alone. But here, it's not really up to par. I need to see how it's piloted. I need to see how it's
I
piloted.
also really don't like no redirection, especially on a team with Pokemon like Blastoise and Hisuian Typhlosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when I had the Tinglu team, did I have no redirection? I don't think I did. No, I had Sinistra. Yeah, I had Sinistra on that team.
Yeah.
Even when I had it, I had redirection. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna advocate for this to be in the C tier.
Yeah, I'm
sadly.
inclined to agree.
I think this is my least favorite team across both drafts.
It just feels very confused.
Yeah, which I want to say, none of these drafts, even with like the other division, are bad. I really oversaid that in the other video. Like, this team's bad. Confused is a more apt way to put it. Like, these teams are super confused and don't really have an identity. I'm gonna put this bottom of C.
Yeah. I think there's ways to, like...
There's definitely
Right.
things this team can do. A Specs Typhlosion behind Tailwind against the right opponent, that is nigh unbeatable.
Yeah, I won't lie, like, some board states, too, that, like, Winda's team puts up, like, this team can play super, positively into.
Yeah.
But if it's only some states, like, I'm even looking at Vitrena's team. It does actually kind of match up pretty favorably into this, because Tinglu kind of just doesn't take a ton from Meowscarada unless it's banded. But, I mean, comparing, like, which team is more confused, like, comparing two confused teams is just going to make me confused. That's all it's going to do.
Anyway, let's move on to our last team.
Yeah,
we
final
have the Winda's Weedles.
This
is not actually me.
This teammate makes me angry.
All right, so we have...
Why are your Weedles here, and how do you have so many?
All right, we have Amoonguss, Alola Ninetales, Tauros Paldea Blaze, Iron Treads, Articuno, Hawmot, Grumpig, Satitan, Suicune, Satitan, is what I meant to say. Crawdaunt, Luxray.
I tried.
Yeah, no, I can tell. Don't worry, I can tell you tried. Why do we
That's
need
hints
to
of me.
water types?
I mean, they are very different types, let's be real.
Yeah. Why are we running Luxray?
You needed an Intimidate Mon, question mark?
We have one. We have Paldea Blaze.
Oh, you're right. Why do we have Luxray? Because everything it does there's another thing that does it.
It's also a fourth ground weakness. Like, I guess you're running hail, you're running snow, so it's whatever. But oh my god.
This team is so annoying.
Oh my god. we don't have a Tailwind setter above 85 speed.
Ew.
Oh.
Yucky.
Oh no. And our Slushrush
This team just isn't very fast in general.
Oh! Well, I mean, it's some of it's faster than it seems. Like, so Titan is not really
So Titan,
73
yeah.
speed, but
Like,
Yeah.
rough.
also I have been like, the more I play the generation, the more I'm like, Titan is not what Snow/Hail needed to really be a dominant force in draft.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of HP, which is great. It's bulky,
Articuno-
but
Articuno makes
oh my goodness, guys, it's Utrecht balance without the Utrecht mons other than Articuno.
I love relying
Flim's a good point. Oh,
entirely on a coin flip of whether or not my Articuno gets O-code.
yeah, you kind of have to tear out this right away. And like, we even saw, like, to use Utrecht as an example, the person who won Utrecht and like the people who were like talking about like using the team and all of that around was like, yeah, Articuno kind of needs specs to do damage. And yeah, it does.
It's
This
really
team
telegraphed.
is very physical. It's very physical with no way to defer, intimidate. People might disagree with me here, but I actually do kind of like Amoonguss on this team. Amoonguss does carry a lot on this team.
Yeah, I
It's
don't disagree.
it is so anti-trick room, and it's just you bring it anyways. However, if your opponent calls that you're going to bring Snow and brings their own Blizzard Mon, you are kind of just going to lose. Or if your opponent has a Mon with 110 speed that potentially could have a weather move. 110 speed, potentially with the weather move. I'm pretty sure one of these three gets a weather move. Your Aurora Veil
You'll
is
figure it
gone.
out.
Your Aurora Veil
That's
is
true.
gone.
Hey. Iron Treads exists.
No. Iron
Iron
Treads.
Treads is
Treads, yeah, it
pretty
could be
fast.
faster. Could be
Yeah.
faster.
That's
But,
all I ever ran on Iron Treads was booster speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
but
gets
I do.
I won't lie though. I think Iron Tread's best item on this team is Clear Amulet.
Yeah, probably needs a
Because
clear
it's-
amulet.
Yeah.
It's your main damage dealer. That's a good
I mean,
one.
To be fair, you do have Hyper Cutter on Crawdon, but you never run it.
Ah, yes. Let me run Hyper. Yeah, like, yeah. Let me go in with Hyper Cutter Crawdon and like have the reason, not use the reason to draft Crawdon being adapted.
Yeah. No, I really love
I hate
Titan's
to be
eyeliner.
I hate to be so low on this team because I am the snow guy. I am the hail guy back in the day, but I really hate to say it, but I don't think with these mons drafted, snow cuts it. Also, by the way, Powdon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Powdon turns off this entire
there's
team.
one other weather team in the league, and this one loses to it.
Well, assuming they lead, they do the weather
They
wars,
lead
right?
Leather Wars.
I think this
Weather Wars.
team
Yeah.
is- Oh, I don't want to say bad. I really don't. I want to just say fine, but I also want to say bad because I'm an a-hole. I also think it's kind of bad. It's fine. I don't know. I don't know what to even say about this team. Like,
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
go,
okay.
It's fine. Like it's fine. Amoonguss potentially telegraphs, like, forces your opponent to run Terra Grass on some mons, which
Yeah.
can let you sweep in the back, almost. One thing I don't like is that this team doesn't have Wide Guard to stop snarls. And it also doesn't like when your opponent clicks Wide Guard.
Yeah, 'cause you have the double blizzard. You have
Yeah. Also,
I
this
don't
team
know what- I
hates
feel like
Tinglu.
Iron Treads gets. Does it get high horsepower at least?
Yes. Treads?
I-
I think it does.
Treads,
Yeah.
yes.
Like 90% sure it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I almost never ran EQ.
yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know. This team has. one solid direction and then just one behind it.
So I think the way that you're going to pilot this team best is you run Amoonguss, Ninetales Alola, Tauros, Paldea Blaze, Suicune, Titan, Iron Treads. You just run these 6. And to start running bulky offense. Like, you never need to click Tailwind, you just run this.
Yeah.
And then you just
Yeah,
start pivoting out
just-
Snow if it needs to. Basically, you're playing Protect the Amoonguss. Which is a justifiable, game plan for a team. You play Protect the Amoonguss. What knockoff do they have?
Don't. Do
Treads. Treads.
They have Tread.
Treads
have
is the knockoff.
Groudon,
It's the knockoff. Like Palmot and Treads. So Titan, I think you need to run more coverage than like running anything that's utility, just because of how the team functions. I don't know. I think it's I think actually looking more at it and like not saying this has to be a Snow team, I feel better about it.
It can function
But-
outside of Snow.
Yeah. Like, it didn't draft a Bomber Snow, it drafted the good Snow setter in Alola Ninetales, and that kind of just makes it so that it can just start playing the bulky offense style of team with just set Veil.
And there's always like the surprise factor of, whoops, I accidentally let Titan get away with Belly Drum, and now I lose the game.
I don't know if I believe that that's real, because the second that you lose Snow, Titan, even with the boost, is kind of
but
frail. Like, it's
how
it's
long?
at half.
I guess you do run Light Clay over like Icy Rock,
Yeah.
but realistically, you can just pivot in and out.
I guess.
It's not like it's not a guarantee, but it is something to be wary of.
So I'm gonna say it. Calm Mind Suicune goes crazy with this team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You
That's
need to
kinda-
bring Haze against this team. You
Yeah.
need to.
Gotta have a
Otherwise,
Dondozo.
Suicune wins.
Yeah.
Or have a Dondozo.
Shit, yeah. Oh god, yeah. Dondozo hard walls is. Why does
Paragrass
Dondozo wall?
Dondozo.
Mm,
Dondozo does wall
Better
this team
burn,
save
buddy.
like Articuno.
No, it walls Articuno. Just run AV. AV Heavy Slam. AV Terra Steel.
Maybe heavy. Yeah,
Just don't get burned by
Walls-
Suicune and you're fine.
yeah.
Oh, my
That's okay.
God.
I'll run,
I will say,
Shield
admittedly, though, Gambit, your team does not have a good matchup into this. Just because
Oh,
Amoonguss
no.
exists.
Fuck
But
no, it doesn't. I can't
it's
reliably
only
get
because
Trick Room from Amoonguss,
It's
and then
I think
no fucks up,
Amoonguss,
like half my.
like if this team had anything other than Amoonguss, like other than Baxcalibur, because I think that's the only S tier that feels on the same level as Amoonguss for this team.
Yeah.
But if it didn't have Amoonguss or Baxcalibur, this team would I would even probably say we have to move these two teams up to C tier to put this in C. But Amoonguss provides a very large amount of depth to a team that I'm like. The more I look at it, the more I like it. To an extent, obviously. I don't think it's gonna be breaking our A tiers. I don't even think it's breaking our B tiers. But hot take, I like it the
Top of
most
C?
out of the C tiers. I like it the most out of the C tiers. That's my hot take.
I
Yeah,
kind of do,
yeah.
Even though
because at least this one
team,
has
like,
direction, right?
well, it's got more direction than
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? See, I'm putting it in B.
I don't know about that one.
No, because I think
Nah, screw it. Put it in B. It's also
Yeah.
got Grumpig on it. The Goatmon.
yeah.
No,
'cause-
you know what?
'cause here, Gambit. I'll explain to you why I'm putting this in B. Because of what you said. The other C tier teams don't have direction. This team has a
Yeah.
very clear direction. This team has a very clear game plan. It's not necessarily the best game plan, but like even look at the teams that we have in B. We have Sand. We have Fizz offense. Oh, but Rat in B now feels wrong.
I'm okay with moving right up to A.
4 A's, no S. You know what?
I kind of like it.
That's probably correct though, right? Rat and A.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it because
For
we're not
A
tiering
tiers and-
objectively, we're
Yeah.
like textually. So not having an S tier feels good.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, because I think these 4 teams, I think Rat is like A minus. Like if we had an A minus tier, Rat would go there. But his team is able to hang with the A tiers.
Yeah.
I think he's just so much better than the sand and the snow that like we kind of have to do it like this, even though it looks so disgusting on a chart. 4 A
But
tiers.
also, I think it also shows the quality of the teams. Like, really, like
Yeah.
people did a great job drafting.
I'm pretty proud of the Dawn division.
Yeah, Don. you
It's
guys
gonna
are-
be a fun season for sure.
Don, you guys are great at drafting.
Damn.
I just
Let's
said you
see.
guys are
I
great at
helped
drafting.
with. I helped with 3, and Gambit helped with 2.
Technically.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
and I did Gambit's team, so S tier actually.
Sure.
Gambit's
You
team
did
is
not-
actually
I wanna
S
point out-
tier because you know.
I
I'm the
want to
best
point out
striker
I did
ever.
not help with this building at all, save Magnazone, because Appleton
Hey,
was sniped.
Hey,
That
hey,
was
hey,
the only decision
hey,
I
guys.
made.
Hey guys, you want to know what's crazy? In both divisions, out of S tier, the only like person who did a drafted or did a large chunk of draft help is me. I'm basically S tier myself this season. It's all
Hey.
relative. Like if I was in this league, I think those 2 teams would fall into A.
Yeah,
Well,
I think your team does so much better in your league than it does in ours.
Well, yeah, I just have a worse matchup spread. But like if we combined both of them together, I think mine would probably be S. Window would probably maybe sneak up there. I think maybe mine would be S just because like the randomness of like matchups. Like, if I didn't,
Yeah.
because like if I don't hit my bad matchups, I'm like the best team in the league by a country bumpkin.
Yeah. Do we want to do our
Prediction.
predictions?
Yes, and the predictions will also go to grand finals. So let me write my name down. Boop boop, and then Gambit. Boop, and then Window. Who wants to go first?
We started with my team. I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
So we're going top 4, then pick for winner, and then grand.
Top 4 winner, and then after we're all done talking about our winners, we'll talk about grands.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the obvious one here. I think Window definitely top 4.
Okay.
I also think it's tough because I want to have faith in Kathy as a whole, but this team is a tough one to pilot. I do think I'm gonna put Kathy up there. But it's not an easy one for her to manifest.
Right, I agree.
This is where it gets hard. I guess I'll put my team up there. My team is, if you have like even a semi bad or like even matchup with Trick Room, my team pretty hard to play against.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're fully setup based and you can't get over Dondozo, I kind of just
Let's go, Gambit, having confidence in your team.
Yeah. Wait,
Uh,
who was the last one? Did you get to
good
that?
question.
Kind of zoned out a little bit. I got the
No,
other 3. Okay.
this is tough. I think I'm gonna go with Rat.
Going
I think I'm
with
gonna
the
go
top.
with Rat. He has the pieces to play it out, and I think realistically, I think I wanna say I'm gonna win, but I do think Winda has the upper hand.
All right. Winda, do you
Anna,
want to do
you wanna
your
go
top
next?
4? Me? All right, I'll do mine next. I think I'm not even gonna waste time with my top 4. I think it's Winda, Kathy, Gambit, Rat.
Yeah.
I think also taking player skill level into account. From what I know about the coaches, you guys are above the other ones. And then the winner. God, I want to spite you, Winda, so much, but I think you have the best odds, which is so annoying.
Yeah, I do think Winda has the best matchup spread out of anyone in the league.
Yeah, Winda, you're getting it. Who's your top 4, Winda?
I completely agree with you guys. It's our 4 A tiers. It's myself, Kathy, Gambit, and Rat. Means Rat's gonna finally not have to use that profile picture if they don't choke. And of course, you know what it means. The script is gonna be written. It's me versus Lord Nobody in finals, in grand finals, baby. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So that brings up
I'm
a
going-
good segue to Grands. For me, Grands is me versus Winda.
Yeah.
The rematch. Grands for Gambit is me versus
Yeah,
Winda.
you and Winda.
And then we have Bozo Winda over here.
I'm just following the script, baby.
Winda versus nobody. All right, Gambit, you went first in team order. Who do you think is winning Grands and why?
Huh. You know what? That's a great question. Both of these teams, they're really good in their own right. Funnily enough, I think they have one of the same Pokemon.
Do we?
Yeah, we have different Tauros, right?
Kind of. You
Yeah,
have the
yeah, we
different
have
Tauros.
Tauros.
I have the Tauros matchup, baby.
True.
Yeah, Tauros matchup, and then every other Pokemon is vastly different.
I don't know. It's a pretty even fight, in all honesty. It's a hard call. I do think that Winda can struggle a bit versus Psy-Spam, but I also do believe that you, as Psy-Spam, have, like, a semi-hard time going up against Spectrier.
Yeah, I can see that.
If Ursaluna takes out your Ire Crown, ends up just becoming Spectrier fodder. But if you manage to get the right follow me guess, the Spectrier goes bye-bye too. So it's a hard call. But for the sake of not getting bad help later, I'm gonna go with Connor.
How would that be bad help?
No, you're gonna not help me because I don't believe in you.
Do you want to hear the truth, Gambit? Okay.
I do have faith in Canner though. Unironically, I do have faith in Canner. I do think you both have the tools to win by bar none. Like it's a very good close matchup, but I do believe in Canner.
Okay. I know I said I'm on my arrogant arc. I know I said I'm on my heel arc. I know I said that. But I have to go Winda. I have to go Winda in Grands. I just think what it's gonna boil down to is who is more consistent of a player, and that goes to Winda. But there's also this. There have been times where I have beaten Winda the first time around that we play. Winda's very good at developing after, doing a crackback after. What the difference is, there's going to be vastly more games of high-level play that both of us are going to be able to watch and understand. I think the edge that I give to Winda is very slight. I agree with you, Gambit, that it really, really could be any person's game. I feel like it's anyone's ballpark if it's me versus Winda in finals. I really, really do. I think
I do agree with
yeah.
that. I think it would be very close if we played. But of course, you know what's going to happen, baby. It's going to be me versus Lord Nobody, grand finals, and you know who's going to come out on top. It's your boy. We're coming out on top. 7 UBL championships. Woo! Let's go, baby.
All right.
No
All right.
reasoning. No, nothing.
reasoning?
We're just following.
Okay. Do
We're just following the script.
you
It
want
has
me
been
to,
foretold in the scrolls.
do you want me to give my reasoning
Why?
on why you would win? Your team is like so much better.
Killed it.
Everybody's is. So
Killed it.
also, I just don't know if he has a. Hold on, let me pull up his team. I've opened the draft, the PRs.
I will never remember what team name is.
I have no idea what he has. Like, I'm not opening the draft
Salty
sheet.
Swamp.
It's Salty
He's
Swampers.
got
Oh yeah, he's got Bundle
Bundle,
Noivern. Yeah,
Valiant.
no, this team does not. No. Oh wow. Wow. Oh wow. Like, I'm not even trying to be that much of an a-hole here, but like it's just a generally bad matchup for nobody if it comes down to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Looks like a rough matchup. I don't know. Nobody's a great player though, so like even bad matchups he makes seem like favorable ones.
What's his second pick?
I am Valiant. Yeah, it's bugged on the Dusk Division dock for some reason.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the second
fix
box
it.
is empty.
I'll fix it in a second.
Yeah.
But
Weird.
yeah, so 2 people have winning grands against a different opponent. And then we have Gambit saying that I'm gonna win. Thank you, Bestie. You're my biggest supporter. Like, unironically. Unironically, my
Real.
biggest supporter. But yeah, that's Dawn PRs, folks. Dawn is gonna be the division to watch. Like, don't take it from me. Take it from the Dawn division coaches who are gonna have some killer games all season. You're not gonna want to miss them. So
Yeah. Check them out and like the video. Be subscribed for more UBLVGC content.
match of the week, folks. It's coming. I don't know who the matches are gonna be for week 1, but it's coming.
Are you doing a match for Dawn and a match for
Yeah.
Dusk, or just
Yep, match for Dawn and Dusk. Yeah. I will say I have my match for Dusk. The match that plays tonight. Eris versus Nobody. I want that to be my match of the week because I think it's interesting matchup for the teams.
Ooh.
But other than that, I don't have my Dawn matchup yet. You guys will have to let me know who you want to see for the Dawn match of the week.
IMO.
Yeah.
Me versus Kathy looks fun.
Ooh, that sounds like a good one.
You know what? Yeah. I'm still recording. That'll be the match of the week. Those will be the match of the weeks, folks. Salty Swamperts versus Fairfax for Alligator. And Uncontested 8 versus SoCal Valiant. That'll be match of the week. And you'll see that probably next week, because I have no idea when both of those matches are playing. Actually, both of them are done by Thursday. It might be running
Yeah,
as soon as
I'm
Friday.
like, I'll do mine tomorrow.
Yeah, and Eris is it might be as done as ready as soon as Friday. All right, well, thank you, folks, for watching, and we'll catch you
Bye-bye.
in match of the week.
Bye bye.